The engines can get their trains delayed for many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons why is animals. Cows and sheep usually stray onto the line from broken fences. The engine's crews would try to get them to move away, but it rarely works. The farmer would eventually come and round up their animals safe in their field. One day, Thomas was puffing along his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. All of a sudden, he saw a cow on the line. "Shoo! Get out of my way!" Thomas huffed crossly, but the cow just stared at him. Thomas whistled impatiently, and Farmer McCall arrived to get the cow back. At Ellsbridge Station, James was waiting for Thomas. "You took your time, Thomas," said James. "It's not my fault," Thomas replied. "Those stupid cows wander onto the tracks again. What is Farmer McCall's purpose of letting them on the line?" Before James could answer, Thomas puffed crossly away. That night, Thomas told Percy and Toby about the cow. "Animals should know that us engines have work to do," said Thomas. "Their brains aren't as smart as engines and humans," replied Percy. "Well, Thomas," said Toby, "if you don't want cows in your way, would you like to have my cow catchers and become a tram engine?" Thomas blushed at this and went unhappily to sleep. The next morning, as Thomas started his usual morning pasture run, he was determined to not let any cows get in his way. "Cows make me cross whenever they're in my way," he complained to Gordon. "Maybe that's one of the reasons why you're always late," replied Gordon. Thomas's signal changed to green and the pastures got on board. On the bridge, a helpless sheep had escaped from Farmer McCall's farm. Thomas saw the sheep in the distance and he was horrified. "Cinders and ashes!" he cried. "Whoa, Thomas!" his driver called as he applied the brakes. The sheep was so startled that it jumped off the bridge into the river below. "Oh dear, what should we do, Thomas?" asked Annie. "We should tell Farmer McCall," said Thomas, and he set off at once. Thomas hurried to Farmer McCall's farm and his driver told him what happened. "We must rescue him right away," he said urgently. "I'll call for Harold." While Farmer McCall set off with Thomas, Harold took off into the sky towards the bridge. When they got back to the bridge, Harold went lower in order to put the sheep in a harness so that he can pull it up. Once the sheep was in a harness, Harold pulled up to the bridge where Farmer McCall was waiting. Thomas and Farmer McCall thanked Harold. "Anytime, old chaps," said Harold. "Glad to be of service." "Hooray, the sheep is saved! Hooray, the sheep is saved!" cheered Annie and Clarabelle as they went back to the farm. "Thank you for your help, Thomas," said Farmer McCall. "Any time," said Thomas. He whistled goodbye and was on his way again. When Thomas arrived at Farquhar, Sir Topham Hatt was waiting for him. "Well done, Thomas," he said. "You were a big help to Farmer McCall." "Oh, thank you, sir," said Thomas. He felt better already. That night, Thomas told Percy and Toby about his day. "Even though animals think differently," said Thomas, "we should still give them respect." "Indeed," agreed Toby. "Do you still want to have cow catchers?" Thomas declined the offer, but he knew he had to laugh.